SAfm, South Africa's news and information leader.
Thanks, Nancy. Zuma sees a need for government to change its approach and US scientists make more findings on ozone pollution. That's in the news. Good afternoon. ANC President Jacob Zuma says the escalation of protests related to service delivery is a clear indication that government must change its approach. He was addressing delegates at the opening of the 4th National Policy Conference at Gallagher Estate in Midrand. Zuma says while the ANC-led government has done a lot to improve the lives of ordinary South Africans, there's an urgent need for a different approach.
The level of frustration in some communities is high, and understandably so. We must caution that while frustrations at erratic delivery are understandable, the destruction of property and resorting to violence will never be tolerated.
Zuma says social ills such as poverty and unemployment remain a challenge, and it's time for government to accelerate change in all spheres.
The time has come to do something more drastic to accelerate change towards economic transformation and freedom. Because as you'll appreciate, much as we have achieved this, but we are saying poverty, inequality, and unemployment is the biggest challenge, with all the successes that we've made.
Government has increased its wage offer to public servant unions from 6.5% to 6.7%. The parties met yesterday at the Bargaining Council in Centurion after the unions declared a wage dispute 2 weeks ago. Independent Labour Caucus spokesperson Chris Klopper.
The latest offer of the employer is CPI plus 0.8%, which brings it to 6.7% general salary adjustment. For year 2, the proposed adjustment, that is for 2013, would be CPI plus 0.7%, and it still remains at 0.5% for year 3.
No progress has been made on government's 2.5% increase in benefits. The police's Fish Naidu says the woman who is accused a New Zealand under-20 rugby player of raping her was not drinking. His statement follows reports that the woman had told police that she had been drinking. Naidu says the woman has little or no recollection of what happened and they are offering her therapy. He says only one player, and not 4 as some media reports suggest, is the subject of investigation. Police were called to a Cape Town hotel on Saturday morning when a 22-year-old woman claimed one of the baby blacks had raped her. The second body of a SAfm1pm KZN wildlife field ranger who went missing last week north of KwaZulu-Natal has been found. Rangers Mbazwane Mhlongo and Phumlani Mthembu were among 4 rangers who were monitoring illegal fishing activity in the lake. SAfm1pm KZN wildlife spokesperson Musa Mtambo says the body was found close to where the first body was discovered.
The second body has been found, just found earlier this morning. It was floating not far from where we found the first body yesterday. And the families right now are going to mortuary to identify the body. Then we will only know the cause of death once the postmortem has been done. We cannot maybe say assume at the moment.
The South African Weather Service has issued a weather warning for the Western Cape, predicting gale force winds and very rough seas. Waves of between 4 and 6 meters are expected between Table Bay and Cape Agulhas. Spokesperson for Cape Town Disaster Management, Wilfred Solomons Johannes, says no reports of damage have been received yet. And finally, scientists in the US say ozone pollution that's common in big cities like Joburg and Cape Town appears to cause potentially dangerous changes in the heart. ScienceNews.org reports that the Harvard School researchers in Boston uncovered signs of inflammation and heart rhythm disturbances in 23 healthy young volunteers who briefly inhaled elevated levels of ozone. Ozone is a form of oxygen and is the primary irritant in urban smog.